Chapter 31. What gets measured gets improved. Record, document, get it out of your head. Quote, "The worth of a book is to be measured by what you can carry away from it." Unquote. James Bryce. I have 2 teenage boys in high school. I've studied quite a bit about how to study. Short-term memory and long-term memory, retention, all that. Oh, and teenagers, who don't really care so much about the topic and are mostly there because they have to be. What was the title of this book again? So, sure, they're going to forget the math formula as soon as possible after the exam. Oh well. But what about us? Fasting, meditating, and creating. I know my kids understand the material when they can teach it back to us. We have a discussion about it, we ask questions, and they respond as best they know. That's the best. The worst is when they skim or read and barely comprehend the material. See where I'm going with this? Sure, I'm almost certain you'll benefit from a 17-hour session of fasting, meditating, and creating. But if we add some measurement to the equation, it usually sticks with us longer, has a deeper, more profound learning experience. How can we measure if we don't have any system of currency or something to measure? The simple example is always weight loss. If you lost weight, you'll know it because the scale shows a smaller number than last week. Super easy to measure and improve. In fact, at least for me, weight loss, or at least weight management, is an important measurement factor in the 3-part equation. I feel better, harder to measure, when I weigh less, easier to measure. Aside from weight loss, most of what we're doing here is harder to measure. Let's take just the 3 main elements: clarity, courage, confidence. How do we know, week to week or month to month, that we have more of those things? This is where recording or documenting comes in. For a few months now, I have been recording a post-meditation audio. I am no less than amazed at what comes through during those less than 10-minute sessions. A few short years ago, those recordings would have been secured in the deepest password-protected folders of my Dropbox. But seeing that I have now apparently completely come out of the spiritual closet, I not only record them, but I then publish them publicly. I know, it's crazy. You can listen to them here. PassTheSourCream.com/tag/past-life-regressions. By recording a quick audio snippet of the recap of my meditation, it embeds it deeper within me. It helps me remember it longer, and I'm pretty sure it also subconsciously ingrains it more profoundly in the section of my brain labeled something like experiences that are apparently important to me. By recording, by taking notes, by telling yourself and your mind and your brain and your, soul that what you're doing is important, it will become more important for you, and thus it will be more deeply embedded in yourself. I hope I'm getting this message across clearly. If you're looking for the action item, in case it got buried in here somewhere, it's just this. Action. Immediately after your meditation or creating session, hit voice record on your phone and just talk through what happened. Keep it under 10 minutes. Save that file in a place where you can see your progress, if only by the number of recordings you have. Tech tip. I personally use Voice Record Pro on my iPhone. There should be an app on your phone that's already installed you can also use. I like VRB because I can easily export it to Dropbox. You know, in books, where there are exercises in the chapters, and the authors will even say something like, "Now go do the exercise, I'll wait." Yep, that's what I'm saying here too. It's the same thing as doing your meditation and not recording it. Yep, it was probably good, but it will be enhanced if you record, if you measure how good it was. I can sense in myself a need for an answer to the question, but Bradley, how often should I record what and why? Which is why I need to go write the next chapter of this book called Frequency. Possible. Record your experience without actually hitting record. Impossible. Think about it in your head as if that's as good as actively recording your voice or your words on paper. Repossible. Just hit record. P.S. Remember, I'm a rebel and a nutty professor who does crazy stuff like this and then publicly shares it. I honestly don't recommend this when you're starting out. Yes, hit record, but it's just for you and only you. That way, you'll also be more honest and daring to really, really get into how your experience went.